Hello and welcome back to Bayou Brit. We need to talk about this Water Wizard. So this is our 2001-2003 Water Wizard 1.0 here in Covington, Tennessee. And we've spent, realistically, $15,000, maybe $17,000 trying to get it working. Which is a lot more than we thought, probably twice what we thought it was going to cost to get going. We've had to disable the doors here at both ends, sacrifice those. We can't use this in the winter. It's one of those things. We currently can't clean cars. We can get cars really wet, but they come out dirtier than they went in with streaks and stains. And this really is the last chance. This is the last day we're going to work on this before we shut this project down. Before we get to too many more details, let's go back and look at the journey we've been on to get here.
So after working on the Water Wizard here in Covington for 3 months, 2.5 months, several $1,000s, way over $10,000, unfortunately, more than we'd hoped, we're now ready to do a free wash Saturday where we're going to help people out, give them a free wash, let them know that we've resurrected this machine and that it's open for business, paid washes from tomorrow, which is really exciting. It's something I've been wanting to do since we got the building. So let's crack on. I've got some flags to put up, I need to do a post on social media. I've got a now open banner that I need to hang. Today's really going to be all about celebrating that we have got it to a place where we think, I must stress this, we think we can start selling car washes. This is going to go two ways. It's free washes for people that want a free wash. Also helps us tune the chemicals, make sure they're not too spicy, and make sure they're spicy enough. But also stress test the machine so that these parts haven't really moved much in the last 5 years. If we can give them a busy day where there's heavy usage, the boom's going up and down, up and down, up and down for a few hours ideally, that should show us if there's a weak point and any other machinery that needs replacing. Fingers crossed there are no more parts that I need to buy for this thing. There'll be more parts I need to buy for this thing. It is a beautiful day to come wash your car under the Covington signage of the water tower here at the Covington Car Wash. New sign on its way. We've got new feathers up to let you know that we're here. We're open and our automatic is indeed now open. So I am up on the roof, which is not necessarily what you may have expected, but that is because I have the now open. Someone just go in the wash? Well, I just ran down here because we're doing free washes on this Saturday. 4:20 is the date, so we're doing free washes. But I missed someone. They got in and they paid, so I feel bad. Because I like to think of myself as a good person, I'm going to grab them on the way out, make sure they know that their next one will be free. Because it should have been free today. So, I don't know. I think treating customers right is the good way to build loyalty. That and having everything work. So, there's a Mercedes going through there now, which is nice. I hear the wash performing well. But yeah, I need to put a sign up saying, I'm on the roof, honk if you want a free wash. Well, that was very nice. That was the gentleman from the barbershop across the road. I went in there earlier and said, hey, tell your customers that you like that we're doing free washes. You don't have to tell the guys you don't like, up to you. And he laughed, thankfully. So he's been sending people over here, which is great. He did pay, and I said, absolutely the next one's on me. And he said no, but I'll find a way to hook him up. But yeah, I mean, that's what we need. We need to be part of the community. People need to know that we're here, we're doing a good job. We're doing a better job of being stewards of the site than the last owners. And, we got things working. It's a beautiful Saturday here and we are empty, which is alarming, we have to drive business here. It's got to pay for itself. In the meantime, we've got problems in Portland where our pump has blown up. So that's just awesome. So back to the project. We're going to hang this now open sign on the, what do you call this, roof valance? Something like that. All right, doing this on a windy day probably wasn't the best idea, but, standing water is a nightmare in this site. It's always on the roof. God knows what this gunk is. Once it dries out, I'll get rid of it. But temporary fix with the wire. As you can see, the wind's trying to lift it up. So I have pulled some rope through from the top, and I'm going to see if I can make that work. Okay, we now, I just wanted to drop my phone off. Have the sign up there. Oh, there's one corner I didn't do. Yeah, I should probably do that. Right now, this is just held on with wire, which is suboptimal. As happens so often in the car wash game, Portland has gone down on a busy Saturday. There's a water tower behind me. It's kind of neat. So I have put the sign up. Had to reach out to my dad to find out how to do bowline knots. But I'm going to have to run across the state. I'm in Covington, Tennessee. I've got to go to Portland, Tennessee, which is about a 3-hour, 15-minute drive if you're uninhibited. And I do need to stop at my house and get parts, so it's probably going to be closer to 4 hours on the road to go and try and fix a site on a busy Saturday afternoon. That is just part of the just collecting quarters lifestyle.
Just got to remember to close this hatch because I didn't before and it rained and that was sub-optimal. Let's go down and I'll show you the sign before I head out. Okay, it is getting busier here, which is nice. A couple of days in use. Well, one, somebody just drove through it. It's not that busy, but let's have a look at the sign. There she is in all her glory. Dad, if you're watching, don't judge my knots. I never really did well at sailing, so gonna move that magnet hook down and then get on the road. But the rest of our feathers are up. Hopefully, now that people see the now open, they'll know that we are indeed now open and start coming. Welcome back to Bayou Brit. We are playing with the Water Wizard, trying to get it working. Today we have a rental car that doesn't have a crack in the windshield like mine. A nice Challenger? I don't know, whatever. We're gonna run it through. We fixed a couple of issues where it was back pressuring spot free into the wax tank and making weird stains. And we're gonna try it. Ooh, I can't quite get in. Let's see how we do. Is the undercarriage? Oh, there's the treadle. Go, go, go! Ah, where's the door handle? Woo, got away with it. Now, it's been a while since I did an update on the Water Wizard. We've had issues where it leaves a film on the car, so it's not really doing a great job of cleaning. So we've been playing around with the chemistry, trying to fix a couple of questionable back pressure issues, and this is what it looks like now. What we're talking about. See how the windshield is streaky. Some of this is geometry, right? You're always going to blow suds out of hidden compartments. You have blowers, but the streaks on the bumper, it's kind of hard to see. That's where the problem is, because that doesn't give the impression of a clean car. So this is another one of the issues we're dealing with. Can you see that streaking? Like, this is a chemistry issue apparently. I think it's a solenoid issue. I think some chemical is leaking out through the wash and it just looks terrible. And as we come outside, you can see on the hood, or maybe you can see, there we go, the same streaking all over. Interestingly, not too bad on one side. Okay, so we just made a custom wash, which wasn't ideal, but we turned the pre-soak off. I think we have a pre-soak leak after the fact, which is then getting blown around and drying and streaking. So when we don't run the pre-soak, we don't get any streaking at all. If only you could wash a car without pre-soak. So one of the issues is that when we turn the pre-soak off, it doesn't always stop. It keeps running. Then you get pre-soak on the car, which means it's all streaky and, well, not a saleable product. So let's turn it off and see. Okay, some is fine. We're down to drips here. This one's stopped. This one's still got quite a lot of pee on. We're taking the cover off the boom right now, so it's kind of in a demo mode or a testing mode. But what we want to see is when the pre-soak stops and at the end of its second pass, we don't want to see it dripping or running for more than a few seconds. If it stops whilst it's still rinsing, absolutely fine, no big deal to me at all. The problem I have is that it hasn't been stopping there. It's been continuing to run all the way through to the dry phase. So it's been drying with pre-soak on it, which is not great. So we're still getting good coverage. We've titrated the chemical. It's where it should be. So on the strong side of where it should be. So this is going to be the test. When it comes to a halt, we'll switch over to rinse mode, and ideally we won't see it pissing out green stuff. I'm always really impressed with the pre-soak coverage. It always looks good. Whether it cleans or not is another question, but all right. We're in dwell time now. So just Justin changed the nozzles that we had on here. We had some plastic nozzles. We don't think we had enough water pressure to maintain them, so we switched back to some other nozzles, which seem to be giving us a better experience, better rinse. Are we dripping green? I mean, there's some coming out of the middle, but it's still dripping for sure. So as I mentioned, the issue we have is that the pre-soak continues to drip, so even the rinse doesn't actually clear it off, which means you get these weird streaks. Let's see what it's like after the dryer runs. We're just getting rid of the triple foam now. The rinse is doing a much better job, so I'm happy with that, but it's whether that pre-soak is still dripping or not that's a real problem. That sounds more impressive. There's a load of green in the... Yeah. I saw it drop pre-soak in the middle of the windshield, and then on the roof as well.
Whole way down there. So what can we do on that middle one? Tighten it some more, maybe?
So here's the problem. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe you can't. The screen is covered in pre-soak. Maybe you can see here how the water isn't drying. Oh, there we go. You can see how we have just chemical left on the windshield. Really becoming quite disappointing. This is our last day, the last day we have to work on this. It's cost us so much and we can't figure out how to get it open. Our replacement's close to 300 grand by the time you've done dryers and pay station and install. Oh, what to do. Well, we've now reached the stage where we're washing the car wash to try and wash off, oh, free Coke can, to try and wash off pre-soak that was stuck up in the gantry from a leak we had. Maybe that'll help. Oh, nearly dropped my phone down the drain. Yikes. That would have been wild. This is the big test. It's a sweaty day. Can we wash this black car? I won't show you the license plate. I'll run around the front. Can we wash Rick's black car? We just washed mine. Mixed results. We fixed some of the issues. I think we fixed the pre-soak. We're now on an extra pass. We're using a blowdown to clear the lines, hoping that that will work. But let's see the finished results. Okay, so we're finishing pass 2 now. Pass 3, we should continue to see this pre-soak running as it clears the lines. It goes through effectively a blowdown. Look how wet that boom is. Covered in pre-soak. Now we 12. There we go. Hopefully that's going to turn to a wispy mist. It's getting there. Yeah, that's purged. Okay, here's the rinse. Still some pre-soak on the suit. It's going to continue to drip. Triple foam. Justin's worked to tone this down a little bit so it's pastel. Much better, less expensive, still does the job it needs to. It's easier to wash off, which is something that we like. So much water coming off it that, well, so much water coming off me today, but how are we still getting pre-soak stuck there if we have so much water coming off? How's that rinse pressure? Rinse pressure good? Okay. So credit to Justin, it's coming up on 7 o'clock here. He has an hour and a half drive home. So we appreciate him. Great guy to work with. We'll go above and beyond. 7 o'clock, he's still here. So this is the last day we can work on this device. Otherwise, it's just a money thing. So I don't know. I'm 80% scared, 20% excited, but it might be 20% scared, 80% excited. It's kind of what makes me feel alive right now. If you know, you know. I should say I was pretty close to being beaten yesterday. Some of this, the car wash game is highs and lows. When you fix stuff, it's fantastic. It feels great to know that you're being productive, to know that you're able to work on your own equipment. And then you have days where, well, it's just a nightmare. Yesterday was a bit of both. There were moments where I was ready to give up yesterday, but we finished the day strong. And we've finished day 2 strong. It's just me on my own here today. So amazingly, I'm on site for this, but the guys with the sign just arrived. The sign was blown out about 2 years ago by a tornado, and it's looked like that, which obviously doesn't really sell our business very well. However, these guys from Martin, Tennessee put the sign together for us. We're about to see it go up. It's going to be awesome. I'm really excited. Because this is just how life is. The sign has arrived. And our color scheme, as you can see, purple and white, matches the Charger's colors up here. I'll overlay the proof of what we sent them. It's come back blue. It's come back blue, not purple. It's like a big miss. Just collecting quarters. Well, what do you know? A new problem. That means I've got to go and get some JB World when it rains. Just paint on you in the car wash. So in my frustration, I almost forgot to cover this. Let me show you the good side. The good side of the rocker panel. Top of the unit here. Good solid stainless steel weld. Completely blown the weld off. I genuinely think this machine hates me. I can't see any reason why it would shed stainless steel unless it hated me. Okay, so if you've watched Top Gear, you've probably seen Jeremy Clarkson say things like, sometimes my genius knows no bounds.
Sometimes my genius is... it's almost frightening.
Well, that's what I'm feeling right now, because this hole that we have here, I was like, I could cover it with JB Weld, but then, although it's 4,000 PSI JB Weld, that's a big surface, I don't want it to droop or anything as I'm installing it. So I was like, what if I got a carriage bolt? And what if I guessed the size? And what if I got really lucky and it just fits? So I could do that, and then I could put JB Weld, the stainless steel version, 4,000 PSI strong apparently, sets in 5 minutes, cures in an hour, perfect. I'm gonna put it on. We're gonna try and seal this up as best I can, leave it for an hour, go fix something else, maybe even dare to grab lunch, and then try it again. I will not be beaten by this thing. I will get it running. Can't spend any more labor hours on it, which is unfortunate. So if you haven't used JB Weld before, this is the steel silk reinforced with something or other. Steel reinforced epoxy putty. All you do is you cut a piece off and then just sort of massage it together, knead it together. And then I'm going to surround that carriage bolt that I put in there, let it set, and well, see how it does in an hour. Now, is this the perfect way to fix things? Absolutely not. Is this I don't have a welder, I don't know how to weld, this will get me through fix? Possibly. That's kind of the beauty, is that often it is, you just get this and you knead it together, often it is good enough. So as you can see, we're mixing the compounds now. Definitely worth wearing gloves because this stuff is nasty. Do be careful, because I think that's actually eating through the glove. So it's, I don't know if it's just these are bad gloves and it's too tacky, but there you can see I'm molding it around, trying to give a good seal. Slightly hard on this side. So that's the finished first attempt. Let's have a look from the front, from the inside. Yeah, that looks good enough. Now we'll leave it for an hour. I probably shouldn't have welded onto that. Shoot. Let's try and leave that so I can still undo the blastic nozzle if need be. But yeah, now we wait. Okay, so it's been about an hour and a half since I put this on, and well, I mean, I can't deform it by touch. Let's see if I turn the rocker panels on, whether whether it blows the top off or not. Okay, let's see. Well, that didn't work. Well, to be fair, that went about as well as anything Jeremy Clarkson engineers. So, they just blew the carriage bolt straight out the top. I think it's fair to say that was ambitious but rubbish. So next up, I'm just gonna patch that whole top with JB Weld, leave it for a couple of days to really cure, and then have my worker test it on Monday. Today's Saturday before July 4th. So maybe by Independence Day we'll have this working. I just didn't say which year.
Well, hey guys, I wanted to give you an update. I am editing the video on a work trip in Austin, and I wanted to just give you the final state of play. A little bit disappointing, if I'm honest. So when I left Covington, we had the wash working. It was working actually surprisingly well. $5 wash, we turned the dryers off so that it really would just be a double pre-soak, 2 pre-soaks, then a rocker panel, then a rinse, then the triple foam, then wax, rinse, spot-free, 2 passes of spot-free to get you back to the front of the car. And that was it. We were done. No dryers, $5 wash, lots of water. We were probably making no money, if not losing money on it, but it was really just to make sure that people knew it was there and it was working. The following morning, it washed 3 trucks back to back. Really impressive. They drove out looking like really clean pickup trucks, which was great. And then the 4th car drove in and it broke. They just powered down. When you got to the treadle, the klaxon didn't sound, horn didn't sound to say stop. It just seemed to be dead in the water. And I'm in Austin, not Covington, Tennessee, so I can't look at it for 5 or 6 days. Thankfully, our workers put the cone out, so no one's gonna pay and then get disappointed. Alas though, unless I can fix this when I get back to Covington, this machine is dead. We cannot pay any more service hours, anywhere between $75 and $150 an hour to get a service tech to look at this, and we can't afford any more hours on this machine. It's just not worth it. The best quote we have is about $210,000, $220,000 to do a replacement, which is an awful lot of money, especially in a year where, or a time where, with the election just a few months away, financial institutions aren't really looking to lend. It's a bit of a struggle. What I really hope is that I get back to Covington and I can magically make it work again, and then it can be a nice short video of success until the very next failure. But for now, this is the state of the Water Wizard. It is dead to me, and I think it's probably dead to the rest of the world too. This has been a long video, so I appreciate you sticking with me. If you've got this far, please consider subscribing, like, and a comment, and I'll engage with you there. And join me again for more adventures in what people suggest is just collecting quarters, but hopefully you're starting to see there's a lot more to it, and it's not always good stuff. I'll see you in the next one.